What's up, guys? Chris the Chef Sports Cards here. We are doing 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Edition. It's been a little while since I've done this one, so I gotta try and get my mind back in it. I'm trying to think how long it's been. It's been a while. Little throwback break, we'll call it. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend, even though it is coming to an end. Welcome, especially if you're new to the channel. A little bit about us. We've been around for over 5 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading, and we ship as quickly as our little hands will move. We should have these out in the next day or two. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks. When we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. So if you want a chance to get into any future free breaks, all you got to do is hit the old subscribe button. Your name will go in the random, and who knows, maybe you'll grab a spot. Awesome, Poppy. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Phils, you got the Phils. Thomas, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thank everyone. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate you buying into this break. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Eugene S. Braves, Tom T. Orioles, Eugene S. Red Sox, Kevin D. And Cubs, Kevin D. White Sox and Reds, Eugene S. Guardians, Kevin D. Rockies, Patrick C. Tigers, Kevin D. Royals, Eugene S. Astros, Matt M. Angels, Steve S. Dodgers, Daniel S. Brewers, Kevin D. And Twins, Eugene S. Marlins, Wallengard M. Mets, Thomas M. Yankees and A's, Kevin D. Phillies, Thomas F. Pirates and Cardinals, Eugene S. Padres, Brent H. Giants, Kevin D. Mariners, Corey W. Rays, Eugene S. Rangers, Vincent M. Blue Jays, Robert H. And Nationals, Eugene S. Let's open some cards. It's a good day. A guy got arrested for being high on something at work, so they sent him to jail. They transferred him to a bigger jail, and he returned to the casino to get his car, and they arrested him again for driving under the influence. So wait a second, this was a guy who worked at the casino, Chris? He got high at work. They arrested him. He went back to get his car. They arrested him again for DUI. Oh, man, he sounds like a real winner, this kid. Jeez. That's crazy. Was he that messed up at work? Like, he couldn't keep it together, or he just got caught? Rendell. Kyle Cody refractor, rookie refractor for Texas. Oh, he didn't work there? He just some random guy? Why would they even call the cops on him for being high? Like, was he acting like an idiot? I mean, I would assume like half the people in the casino are high on something. You know? Schwaba, back with the Nationals like 4 teams ago. Sounds like some NFL players. Let's see. Shirt and Apostle. And for Houston, Christian Javier rookie autograph. For Matt. Not bad, man. He's pretty good. Pretty good pitcher, that dude. So it wasn't even an employee. It was just some guy. Wow. Yeah, he must have been. I mean, it's so strange nowadays. I don't know if any of you who else agrees or notices this, but with the new way the marijuana laws are in this country, like, so in the town where I live, there's a place, it's a music venue. Not a big one, but it's been there forever. Rick Porcello refractor for the Mets. It used to be called Brownies 23 East, and now it's called like the Ardmore Music Hall or something like that. So I was picking up food from a restaurant right near there last week, and there was some like Grateful Dead cover band there or something, some hippie band, you know. And Chris Bubik, rookie, Kansas City, numbered 43 of 75 for Eugene. And it reeked of weed. Like it was all like 50 and 60-year-olds in tie-dyes, and it was, I mean, beyond overpowering. And there were cops right there, and it's like it's so strange that things are legal now that, like I was in New York a few months ago, and all of Manhattan smells like marijuana everywhere you go. Like it's and for something that, just 5 years ago was so verboten, and it's so out in the open, and like it's just kind of crazy to me. I just feel bad for all those people been sitting in prison for that crap for so long. I was mad. Well, yeah, if it was meth, he was probably pretty messed up. Jeez. Mark Matthias, a rookie refractor for the Brew Crew. When I lived years and years ago, I lived right outside of Chicago in a town called Naperville. It's a pretty popular place. A lot of people know Naperville. They used to, the cops used to hang out at the bars and then follow you to your car and arrest you for DUI, like, which is completely illegal to do, but they did it all the time. Like, they would literally sit outside the bar and somebody come out half lit, not notice they were there, and they would literally just follow them to their car. As soon as they got in, turn the car on, they would arrest them. Dwight Gooden. Mitch Moreland, Mitchy. Malik Smith, refractor. Whatever happened to Malik Smith? Where's he these days? I heard his name in a while. Wasn't he with Atlanta or something for a little while? I don't know. Contreras. So the reason we're doing this break tonight is I have a friend. Let me qualify that. He's a card friend. You guys understand that? There's friends, and then there's like hobby friends. Guy I know who I've dealt with, who I've bought from in the past, who I've sold to in the past. He's sitting on literal cases of this stuff. And hasn't been able to move it very well. So I promised him I would do a break and see if it would sell to try and make him back some money. Robbie Ray, X Fractor, not numbered, for Robert. So thank you all for joining the break tonight. It goes to a worthy cause, not me, someone else. It's not a bad product. It's just, it's like anything else with Topps Chrome the past 2 years. They constantly mess them up. They always do something to ruin Topps Chrome for some reason. I don't know why. Trent Grisham refractor for San Diego. So he will be thankful. I will. And he'll ask me to do another one, I guarantee it. I'll be like, yeah, I don't think so. Jackie Robinson. And Sterling Sharp, rookie for Washington. Those ones aren't numbered either. The Aqua Wave, I guess. I don't remember what that one's called. God, you see so many cards over time, they just kind of start to mush together after a while. For Eugene. Old Kent Herbeck. Ryan Howard. God, he was so good his first 5 years. Ryan Howard was unbelievable. And then that stupid Achilles injury just destroyed him. Rafael Furcal. That is what's great about it. A lot of great vet cards in here, and vet autos, and Hall of Famers. And Luis Aparicio. And Jim Thome refractor for the Indians, Guardians, so and so. For Kevin. Bader. A little Bob Gibson special there on the back. Yelich, Sosa, Lewis King. Bob Gibson is 141 of 199 for the Cardinals. For Eugene. Oh, those are thick. Give me a sec. I'm going to grab a 55. I forgot how thick they were, these parallels. That's better. Nice Bob Gibson. All right, last pack of box one. We got one more break coming up tonight. Soccer coming up next. English Premier League soccer. That'll be fun. Something different. All right, box two. Good luck, everyone. You know what the funny part is, Chris? They probably told that guy too when they released him, like, don't go back and get your car, man. Just go home. And he's like, screw them. You know? And they're like taking bets at the station. So who wants to go down and arrest this dude for DUI? I got it. Shohei and Charlie Morton refractor for the Bravos. Mel Reyes. Edgar Martinez, Posada, Baker, and Rocco Baldelli. Autograph for the Rays. Rocco Baldelli. Tampa is Eugene. There you go, buddy. Eugene's got a lot of teams tonight. Old Rocco Baldelli. In the old Devil Rays uniform. And Roberto Osuna for Houston. For Matt. Frazier, Brubeck, and Aparicio refractor for the White Sox. Brock. Aaron Hicks. Esteban Florial, rookie. Chris Taylor. Jared Weaver and John Means refractor for Baltimore. Bob Gibson. Sandy Alcantara. X-Fractor. For Wallengard. Juan Gonzalez refractor for Texas. Porcello, Merrifield, and nice Vladdy. Vladdy Jr. for Toronto, 65 of 99 for Robert. And Roger Maris in the Aqua Wave. For Kevin D. What's up, Robert? How are you, buddy? Alonzo and Lou Boudreau refractor for Cleveland. Hendrick. And Bruce Sutter for the Cardinals. Stroman, McMahon, Damon. And that is a 42 of 100. Working on the Cardinals pitchers, apparently. The first couple boxes here. Bob Gibson and now Bruce Sutter. Yeah, they get forgotten about, you know? They really do. Baseball, well, I mean, all sports, I suppose you can say, is to me, everything is generational in sports, you know, especially now that there's been such a long history. I mean, you know, we all still covet Babe Ruth and that, but how do you think Babe Ruth would do these days in Major League Baseball? I don't know. I don't know if he could stand up to Hunter Green at 102 miles an hour. I mean, I would hope he could, but Dwight Gooden refractor. And it's funny too because like even I think of guys who were like a little bit before my time who I'm like, yeah, he was a good player, but he didn't really affect me as a player because I never really watched him. You know what I mean? So, but then I see guys that were big in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s who did. And now people are like, who's that? Who cares? you know? Well, at the time, he was really freaking good. That's what's interesting about this product too, is because it's gives you kind of a nice cross of all that. Yeah, it's just like football. I mean, could thought that was 10 Gino? I'm sorry, Jason. What did I didn't. Yeah, like would Terry Bradshaw is another one I always think of. Like Terry Bradshaw was an amazing quarterback. He really was. And I mean, granted, he also had an amazing team around him, but and I suppose his long broadcasting career has made him a bit and I say this with the utmost love for Terry Bradshaw, a bit of a clown because of what he is in broadcasting. But I also wonder if Terry Bradshaw could be a quarterback in today's NFL. John Smoltz refractor or Ron Jaworski when he was with the Philly or with the Eagles back in the day. Like at the time they were fantastic, but that's why I think sports have become so generational at this point. The only one maybe not is hockey. I mean, like, and believe me, there are much bigger hockey experts out there than me these days. But I mean, maybe the Lemieux and the Gretzkys could still play today, and and not have it be different than it was back in their day. But I think in basketball, well, I don't even know in basketball maybe, but in football and baseball, I definitely think it's generational. Jorge Alfaro, X-Factor. Oh, talking to you. Sorry, Jason. Yeah, he was insane and he was tough, but and again, football's such an odd one because the build on the players now as compared to then. Not to say they weren't big guys, they were, but still, they're much bigger, much faster, much stronger now than they were then. So you wonder, could they compete? Not that they need to, but it just that's why I always kind of say like you almost need to classify sports by 20-year blocks, or 25-year blocks. Um, I don't know. Man, that's the way I always think about it anyway. Because I don't know that some of those old baseball guys from the 70s could make it nowadays. You had a lot of out of shape, out of weight guys on hot, constantly high playing baseball, all hopped up on greenies. That's what kept them going day after day. Yeah, speed. You're absolutely right. But I mean, and speed is I agree with you 100%. But the speed also comes from the body size, from the work ethic, from the it's kind of a yeah. Well, basketball's a much rougher game too. You're right about that. Um, I mean, we could. I'm sure everybody has an opinion, BGO refractor on the whole like MJ and LeBron thing. Like who's the best player? I would never not say it wasn't Michael Jordan. And one of the reasons why, and yes, LeBron holds a ton of records and this and that, whatever. LeBron was so much bigger than MJ. He just kind of, whenever I watched him play, and again, I'm not an expert on the guy, so take it with a grain of salt. He's a great player, but he was just like a bully player. You know what I mean? Like he was like a steam engine coming at you, you know. Whereas Jordan wasn't that. He was style and finesse, Marcus Stroman, 50 of 100 for the Mets. Um, so again, whereas two iconic careers, it's almost hard to necessarily compare them. And yeah, granted, if you get into the trophies and all that, Jordan eclipses uh, LeBron by a lot. And I'm not just talking about championships. I'm talking about every award you can win in the NBA. Jordan won a lot more, but they're just two different type of players too. You know, um, I mean, LeBron is scary. He's so big and so aggressive and so like I mean on a court like he just willed his way to the basket. Whereas Jordan was always I always thought anyway Jordan was much more of a finesse kind of player. Josh Reddick and Mookie Betts refractor. Although I don't know, man, you look at some of those old videos. I just saw one the other day. Actually, we talked about this last week briefly. For those of you guys who are over 40, the when Larry Bird like took on the entire Detroit Pistons, that fight was crazy. I forgot all about that. I just saw it on Instagram like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. Someone posted it. I mean, he went nuts on like the entire team, and that was a vicious fight. We got some gold here coming up. Good luck, everyone. Guire, Tejada, and Luke Voigt for the Yankees. 28 of 50. Yeah, but see, here's the difference, and I agree with you on the Embiid thing. Embiid's such a monster. Again, he takes, but Embiid's also a center, and I mean, as far as I'm concerned, from the outside looking in, is just okay. Here's 5 guys on a basketball court. The center's supposed to be huge and powerful and domineering around the rim, whereas somebody who's a forward or a guard is supposed to be. They can be that, but they can also be a finesse player at the same time. So I mean, I totally agree with you about Embiid. He's a moose. Um, and it's a different type of game that they play. So sometimes I think it's hard to compare, you know, apples to oranges. Even I mean, if you looked at it and said, okay, here's some of the best players of all time, and let's say you put Embiid in that, just hypothetically, and then you put Isaiah Thomas in there. Like, how do you compare Joel Embiid and Isaiah Thomas? It's impossible. They're just two totally different type of players. Andrew Jones refractor. Yeah, Embiid is fun to watch. He is. he makes basketball fun to watch. Because I got to be honest, I'm not a huge. I talked about this many times. I am not a big pro basketball fan. When I watched more basketball, I always watched more college than pro. Some of the guys are a little too. I don't know. It's a little too much 2-on-2 game and stuff like that. Reggie Sanders auto for the Reds. Got the Reds tonight. Eugene. Like when I was younger and was really into watching basketball, I used to love watching college ball, and I didn't care who it was. I could watch anybody. Watch the Big Sky Conference at midnight on a Saturday because the kids went out and killed themselves playing. Because most 99% of them were never playing again. Pro ball is a different sport. It's doesn't. I'm not saying it can't be fun. It's just different. Yeah, Jordan was amazing. It's Steve Sachs refractor, and again, it's one of those things that's hard to compare. They're not that separated from each other, as far as years go. But I mean, it's been a big argument for a long time. Who's the best player ever, and this and that. And I'm sure many of you could probably tell me 10 reasons why it should be LeBron. I don't, like I said, I don't follow him as closely, but I never saw anyone play basketball like Jordan did. He was just amazing. He really was. Any shot he wasn't supposed to make, he made. And you never understood how he did it. Like, he's the only guy I ever knew just throw a ball up in the air and always go in the hoop. Like, he'd be backwards, upside down, sideways. Like, he was amazing. He really was. But all right, box number 4. Wrestling with a ball. I tell you though, man, some of those old fights in basketball were crazy. That Larry Bird thing was, like I said, I forgot all about it, man. He was no joke. Bill Laimbeer back in the day with the Pistons. The Pistons were a bunch of thugs back then. He took on like that whole team. He was a tough guy, man, Larry Bird. He was no joke. He really wasn't. Nothing about him screamed basketball player other than the fact that he could shoot. He couldn't jump. He couldn't run. He couldn't, you know. But man, he was tough. He was really tough. Jimenez, rookie, Cleveland. I want to know why the NBA playoffs take so damn long. Why they have such huge like breaks in between games. It's crazy. Campusano rookie, numbered 6 of 70. Like my wife watches the Sixers regularly. She's much more devout to them than I am. And we had the playoff game on the other day. I guess I want to say it was game 3 maybe or game 2. I can't remember which one. And it was the end of the game. They were winning. And I said, like, oh, when did they play again? And she said, oh, it was like 3 days from that. I'm like, why do they take so much time in the playoffs? Like, it takes forever to get through the NBA playoffs. And why did they play 7 games in the first round? I always thought they played 5. Like, I mean, I'm suppose it all has to do with making money, I'm sure, but my God. Shane McClanahan for the Rays, X Factor. It's like 2 weeks to get every round over with, and by the time you get to the finals, it's been 2 months of playoffs. It's insane. Dave Parker, look at that man. That's a tough guy there, man. '70s baseball players were no joke. Derek Lee refractor. You see some of those old, what was that? Just the Nolan Ryan fight with what's his name? You guys know who I'm talking when he had them in the headlock. Why can't I think of his name? I just saw that on Instagram today. Somebody posted Alec Baum rookie. Like, those guys were no joke, man. They brought the bat out to the mound. They're swinging. Rules were a lot different back then than they are now. Everything, they didn't care too much about protecting anyone back then. It's funny. My son had a game yesterday. He played in a Coaches versus Cancer invitational yesterday. So it was just a scrimmage or whatever. It was down in Atlantic City. And it was a nice thing. I didn't go because I had to get us ready for breaks yesterday and stuff. But I was watching. It was on. It was they showed the game live on Game Changers. So I was watching on there, and Nick Madrigal refractor rookie. So because it was a scrimmage, basically, most of the starters didn't start. Like my son didn't start it. He's usually the third baseman. The coach put in all the backups so they could play like the first 4 innings or whatever. And my son later was like, we actually told him just to keep him in. We didn't want to go in. But eventually they went in, and my son was up to bat. And the kid pitching was okay. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. He was just okay, Real muto. And you got a full count, and my son's like in on the plate. And the kid threw a ball in, and my son leaned in like, at first he was going to go, and he got hit in the elbow. So, like, my son starts pulling off his Evo shield or whatever, like he's going to the plate, and the coach threw him out, or the umpire's like, no, you're out for interference. My son's like, excuse me? Slaughter, Santana, and Corey Seager, 118 of 199 for the Dodgers. for Daniel. So they of course claim that he leaned into the ball, which, and I was watching on Game Changers and I was like, wait, didn't he just get hit? And plus, I thought it was a ball anyway. Like I thought he would have walked either way, and they called him out for interference. And I was just thinking about it later. I asked him when he came home. I was like, "Did you lean into that ball?" He's like, "Of course he did." And he's like, "But it wasn't blatant." And the thing was, it wasn't. I didn't see him. You know, he's like, "It's not like I stuck my arm out over the bag." He's like, "I just leaned in a little bit because I knew it was going to hit me and it'd take the base, you know, and I got caught." You know, I was thinking to myself, man, can you imagine back in the '70s, like guys used to get plunked in the head, and it was like they called it part of the game, you know? Mauer for the Twins, and now you can get called on. Oh, you interfered. Like, and my son is a very literal player. He's always been that way. Like, he got in trouble in a game a couple weeks ago because he took the second baseman out on a double play when he was coming from first. But to be honest with you, he didn't go out of the base path. The kid was literally standing on the bag, and my son was sliding. And I mean, honestly, he did nothing wrong, and they called interference and they called the other guy out. And my son got up and tried to talk to the umpire and they wouldn't even listen. He's like, "Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm sliding, the guy won't move. How am I?" So, again, and of course, this is high school, of course, not pro, but it's just such a different sport, decade and generation to generation, whether good or bad, you know. But now it always seems like it's more about protecting everyone than actually playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. Thurman Munson. I always feel bad for this guy whenever I see his card. What was it with guys dying in plane crashes back in the day? What a terrible way to go. Yeah, so my son's been called out like 3 times for interference this year for different things. I told him, I was like, "You're going to get a reputation. You don't slow down." It's his last season, though. He's a senior. He's like, "I don't really care." uh, Trey Turner. All right, last couple packs. What time have we got? 9:25. Belly, Garcia Parra, and Shane Bieber auto. Blue Shane Bieber, numbered 51 of 99 to the Guardians for Kevin. Not bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. Like, and okay, if you want to call him on the he stuck his arm in, I didn't see it. I didn't, and even he said it wasn't blatant. Like he did it, but the sliding thing, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I got to slide. The guy won't move. Then he's getting taken out. You know. And then you always hear the mothers and you go, "Oh my God, what did he just do?" My poor wife. She just puts her head down, like, "Sorry." My son was that way in Little League. Like, he would run guys over in Little League. And my son's like one of the smaller kids on the field, but he'd be like, "Was I wrong?" That's what he'd always say to coaches. "Did I do what I'm supposed to do?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, but," and he'd do it. And then all the mothers would be like, "Oh my God." My poor wife would just be like, "Oh God, you're killing me, kid." Jerickson Profar Refractor. And then he would say the same to her. She'd be like, "Liam, why?" My son's name was Liam. "Why do you have to do that?" And she's like, "Because it's the rules of the game, Mom." Like, and she'd look at me and I go, "He's not wrong." I mean, I get that they're all 10, but he's a pretty literal kid. What do you want from me? uh, Alrighty. That will do it for Platinum this evening. I want to thank everyone, as always, like I said, for joining us. I do appreciate it. We do have one more soccer break coming up this week, and then that's it for the week. So if you're not in that, we will see you guys next week, starting on Thursday with Bowman, and more Bowman, plus a few other things, but a lot of Bowman next week. So come and check us out. We would love to have you. And bear with me for a sec while I try to put a hit recap together here. Where did that other? Ah, there it is. All righty. All right, we're doing a hit recap for 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum third case break number 10. We got a ton of refractors here. We'll go through them real quick. Profar, Maurer, Madrigal, Lee, Jimenez, Sachs, Jones, Betts, Biggio, Medina, Smoltz, Gooden, Boudreau, and Gonzalez. Means, Aparicio, Morton, Tomei, Grisham, Smith, Mathis, Porcello, Kyle Cody rookie, and the Thurman Munson. Other parallels, the X-Fractor, we have Robbie Ray, Alcantara, Alfaro, and McClanahan. Those aren't numbered. Chris Bubik, rookie for Kansas City, numbered to 75. Luke Voigt for the Yanks, 250. Bob Gibson for the Cardinals to 199, and Corey Seager also to 199. Vladdy Jr. to 99. The Aqua Wave, not numbered, Sterling Sharp, a rookie for Washington. And Osuna, Roger Maris, Josh Reddick, and Real Muto. Luis Campusano for San Diego to 70. And red Bruce Sutter, red Cracked Ice or Atomic to 100. And also Marcus Stroman also to 100. And then autographs of Christian Javier, Rocco Baldelli, Reggie Sanders, and the Shane Bieber, numbered to 99. 51 of 99 on the Shane Bieber. All right, guys, again, thanks so much for joining me. Everybody have a wonderful week. Hope to talk to you later.